Last time, on the Adventures of Gaia, Danus revealed his knowledge of Pryo's true name, and then the pair continued on to Beliza. They searched extensively for clues throughout the suspended spheres, where Danus found a small hint of Sandeep's UV on a cable. The pair separated. Pryo discovered the traces of a speeder bike, Sandeep's UV, and the UV of the dead Gaiazin they left back with Corvo's body. Danus headed back to the Gaia door and the Put-and-Go speeder, where he found Sandeep's UV leaving Beliza. After a short talk with Iris, Pryo promised to Christophia's comatose form that he would get her justice.
And if I am truly an angel of justice, then you will have your justice. Okay, he gets up. And he walks out.
Okay. You walk out onto the path. Suddenly, the gravity feels light. And you head towards the door?
He heads towards Danus and the Put-and-Go.
While I was waiting for him, could I have familiarized myself? I'm no mechanic, but like open the hood, so to speak, see where wires are running, kind of start to get a gist for what is actually inside one of these. Does that make any sense?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Nothing crazy, just the basics. Just
okay, sure. Yeah, you've been going over it,
looking around. You're
looking through. It seems like your Pryo is taking a bit of a long time, but eventually you see him coming up, and the door opens.
Time to go, shooter.
All right, and then I'll shut the whatever if I had anything open. Right?
Yep.
Then I'll hop in.
Just got a map, tosses into the pad.
Ooh, hey. Looks like our Put-and-Go here hasn't been tampered with, and I'll hold the map up. What's it look like?
Well, that's good to know. We get to live another day. Okay, he presses the green crystal to open the door.
The door opens. Who's driving?
Pryo drives.
All right, you get into the Put-and-Go.
Okay, Pryo gets in. Boop. Puts it in reverse. Tries to reverse about the circular diameter portal.
Okay, you back out and you're hit with the switch from that dark night sky that almost had a somber, if not sad, feeling to it, into the orange baking heat of the star crossroads. And you back in, you turn around, you do a nice turn.
Yeah, he goes, he slams a wheel to the left, so they do a spin, then he goes, slams it in the drive, and goes forward.
All right, you
as
start
fast as
heading
this
up.
little Put-and-Go will go.
You're like, and you head off towards the star crossroads. You drive for some time. You hit the star crossroads area. Danus, you've got the map on your lap in front of you. I will share it.
Studying it pretty hard, just in case it blows away, catches fire. You get the idea.
You come out of Beliza.
And Batty is overhead.
Oh, right. And Batty is flying now.
Yeah, Batty's back.
Yay, go Batty. Batty's sailing around. You see a few of those monsters come in and out that you had battled previously, that you've now recognized. A moving heat rock means those headless cyclops creatures. However, you don't encounter any. You come to the star crossroads and you get out and look around. Please roll detective.
I make it with a critical success.
You look around and you do. Indeed, it looks like Prior Iris was correct in that assuming this is the motorbike, the speeder bike in front of you, and this is the way it's the correct one, you do see some evidence of speed outs and turns. You have to slow down to get through this area because there are those columns of rocks that you can't just speed right through, and you see the traces of a speeder bike going through.
Pryo tries not to let his eyes linger on the spot where Christophia was slain.
Are you warmed by the thought she's actually not slain as you expected when you went the other direction towards the bandit land?
Pryo doesn't find anything to be warmed about. She woke up without any memories, so she's effectively dead.
Always the happy and joyful companion, Danus. You sit in the the putt and go, waiting, looking at the map.
Okay. Pryo says, "Yeah, he went east. Let's go." Jumps into the putt and go. Starts it up.
Okay, you start it up.
I can't catch his bike. Is it a racer? Is it a pleasure? I mean, it probably goes faster than 80 kilometers per hour.
Yes, it goes quite quickly.
Could very well
as
go,
far as you can tell, again, from the...
This is pretty wide open. He could go 2 or even like up to 4 times, 3 times, 4 times faster than this stupid thing can go, so...
You've tried pushing the putt and go to its very, very, very max a few times, and you saw all the gauges start going to red, and so you pulled back. So the top speed of the putt and go is 80 kilometers.
We've tested the effective top speed.
Yep.
We can Gaia mail the makers.
Yeah, the poor putt and go hasn't been well cared for either, so...
Okay, then we turn to the east and head towards this place called Net Square. Does the map have any other information about it?
Nope. Sadly, this is it. The only thing it does have is some codes to get through some doors later on. Apparently, you're going to
Nice.
All right,
find some locked
convenient.
doors.
Maybe we'll catch him in a door. He may not be able to hack it.
You head off and you encounter nothing other than heat, oppressive heat, and eventually the door you're looking for.
Okay, Pryo hops out and with a 17 on detective tries to detect traps on that door.
There are no traps. Apparently, your quarry feels that all is safe.
Looks clear. Okay, he presses the button. Boop.
Okay, the wagon door opens.
So in these outer rims, in these fading lands, usually I get my instincts tell me the door should be smaller. Mm-hmm. But for some reason, there's wagon-sized Gaia doors here that are usually reserved to the median or the core.
Yes.
Maybe we're not even in the outer rims. Maybe we are in the median or the core. Who knows?
The only reason you believe you're in the outer rims is because the prior told you.
Okay, Pryo jumps back into the pilot seat and we keep going. Actually, We're going to go carefully into this first land, kind of look around.
You pilot through slowly at first and then come through into another heat-filled land. It's
more heat.
It's not quite as oppressive. However, the land itself is... The only words you can think of to describe it is dead. The land has those cracks through it, as if all the water has been sucked right out of the land. It's a blue, almost white sky. It's so bright. Both your eyes hurt a bit. The UV is a touch stronger. Not terrible, but a touch stronger. You see no trees, no blessings of Gaia or bounty of Gaia, in that you see no natural trees or fruit or food or even water near the door where you are. You just see a vast white meeting heat waves ahead of you. There is, however, a Gaia road that looks like it has somewhat been traveled. The land is so baked it's hard to say how often it is traveled. And as you're driving in, you come through.
Yep.
Okay. Batty flies up. And for the briefest of seconds, you both cover your eyes as the whole sky flashes red for a second and then back to white.
Ah.
What the heck?
Jesus Sex Machina, what the was that?
Batty's thrown off for... Oh! Batty seems to have fallen. That seems to have affected him. He's about 500 meters in front of you.
Jumps out.
Okay. Okay, he's laying on the ground.
Okay, Pryo runs up.
Okay. He flips himself over and he's kind of walking on his little bat wings.
Are you all right, boy? What's going on?
Okay. You see his little eyes. When you look at them, there's flashes going. They seem to be slowing down finally. Seems that flash of light affected him as well.
Did it
crawls up on you.
Did it affect the speeder?
Putt and Go seems to be acting as reliable as it ever does.
That's what, yep, as it should be.
Okay, Pryo stands there and kind of looks at his bat.
Trying to figure out the controls of the. How's the gas on this? Not necessarily the energy, the whatever this runs on.
It seems to be infinitely supplied right now.
Really? Okay, cool. Then I will slowly make my way up there.
And he lurches it up and comes up beside you.
Pryo goes, okay, try it again, Batty. Tosses him up.
Okay, Batty soars up and he starts to take flight normally. At first he's kind of jittery, his little robot servos go off, but then eventually he gets flight and starts soaring up.
Pryo marches over angrily to the driver's side.
I'll scoot over, kind of not get out of the car, just kind of lift my feet up. You know, the scoot. Yeah.
We lose our UAV. That's not going to be pretty.
Mm-hmm.
He starts piloting forward. I'm going to have Batty fly up as high as possible to get a good telescopic view.
Okay.
And that'll tell us if there's any turnoffs to the road. That'll tell us if, hopefully that'll tell us if our quarry has moved from either side of the road. And that way I can do the full 80 kilometers per hour down this road.
Okay. The only problem with doing 80, as I mentioned in the last line, is it starts to overheat. The gauges suddenly all flip to red, and you do have to pull back occasionally, but you can go
to
mostly
70 or 75 or whatever it is.
Yeah. Okay, you drive for some time. That thing, you can start to see the sky flicker now that you've been in here. You see it flicker again. And suddenly it blinks, that red blink again.
I think it's going to do that. Ow!
Oh my goodness, poor Batty. Batty's not doing so well with his rolls today, I'm afraid. And Batty falls to the ground again.
Oh no, from a kilometer up?
Yeah,
But he does, makes his save. He starts falling. He seems to turn off. You see, you're wearing the goggles, I assume, to see through. Suddenly the vision goes black. First it's red.
Batty,
this guy
Batty!
He starts falling.
He looks up and looks around, tries to find it.
Dot coming down.
Come on, Batty, you can do it. Come on, wake up, buddy.
And then suddenly you see across your goggles, and he rights himself just as he sees all you see is ground coming up to you, and then he soars up again.
Okay, Pryo cares probably way too much for a little mechanical animal. He's like,
how was the driving when? Okay, so he's driving. It goes red and black, and it stays black for him. And how is this driving? Like, what happens?
Please roll piloting.
92. Believe it or not, that is a critical success.
Okay.
Pryo's actually quite the pilot. His piloting is
wow.
You veer off for the briefest
second.
second.
1 or 2 races.
You veer off for the briefest of seconds, and you just let off the gas instinctively so as not to drive quickly into the darkness, and then you pull back, and you seem to handle the flashing sky quite well.
Okay.
This is horrible. You might want to pull your bat back in.
I don't want to miss Sandeep. If he goes off the road, if he has a liaison here or some other way to go, some secret door like we found.
Okay.
Let's get through this Gaia damn place as fast as possible.
This land is enormous. You know you will be driving for some time. It continues on forever. What seems like forever. The sky cooks you. You have 6 more of those flashes. However, Batty seems to recover quicker. He seems to sense when they're about to happen and come down lower. Then he soars back up when it's over. The sky is dimming. It's not turning a color. It's almost as if it was a white screen turning down to gray. So the UV is letting up, at least on your eyes.
Oh, this is my least favorite place.
+1.
This is everybody's least favorite place. The auspices of Gaia have long deteriorated. Okay, we keep going.
Okay, you drive for many hours. You start to get tired. However, you push it. Batty alerts you that up ahead there's something in the ground. You put the goggles on. You see, as you're driving up this cracked landscape that you've become very accustomed to seeing cracked now, it's as if one crack suddenly opened up and there's a huge sinkhole down below.
Is the road going to bisect with this?
Yep, the road leads straight up to it.
Is there any tracks of which way Sandeep went?
You can't find much of anything here. It is still the only road, however. You don't see anything indicating going off either direction, and Batty has looped both to the extent of his vision on either side of you and not found anything. Just lots of cracked land.
Is Sandeep at the bottom of this crack, this new ravine?
It's not a ravine, actually. It's a giant, huge circle of sorts. It's like someone went around and rough-hewn a circle and just either squashed that or lifted the earth right up. And you see below these large, enormous statues of sort down in the crack. There's 4 of them. He sees at the other end of this giant crack a small fire, an actual fire going.
Is it a natural fire? Is it campfire? Is there anybody sitting around it?
It's right at the entrance of what looks like some sort of cave.
So he's being ever vigilant. I'm probably just hanging my hand out the window saying, I spy with my eye something that's white, then turns red. Take a guess.
All right, you see this? You are not quite there. I've just put your little selves there. The road goes straight to it. There's kind of a dip that goes down into this area. Around the edges, it actually goes up quite high. You're not sure how you would get the button go through. And at the far, far edge, you see a small fire ringed around another cave.
Okay.
And as I said, there's these 4 gigantic statues.
Okay. And the gyro does not extend out on the other side of this sinkhole?
You send Batty across, and after some time, outside of the map I've drawn here, it comes back out, it seems. It's almost as if it went down and then came back out.
I see. And then it goes off to the door to the next land that we saw on the map.
Exactly.
Okay. Can I go around it?
The giant... no, as I said, the land starts to actually go up quite a bit. You couldn't take the putt and go. You may be able to walk.
So the only way through is through the middle, huh?
Seems to be.
He gives the goggles to Danus, so Danus can look.
All right, you see what I've described. Very nice. You see what I've described ahead through Batty's vision.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I tell Batty to go closer to the statues.
Okay.
To get a better look at what these things are.
Okay, he flies up. You see 4 different beings. It takes him some time to fly across. You see 4 different beings. One here, the top left, is holding some sort of bow. You see another one that's a shield and spear carrier. Something with a longsword. And one with a staff. They're strange. They're made of metal. They're quite tall. That's what Batty can tell you. They're weathered. Very, very, very weathered. One of those flashes happens while Batty is looking. He recovers. He actually lands on one of the statues. and looks.
Okay. Pryo goes,
He seems to be okay.
Okay, good. Okay, Pryo goes, well, I don't think we have much of a choice but to go down there.
There is an area going off to the right that you might be able to pick through if you were on foot or had something smaller than the Put and Go around here.
Okay, I
see a couple of cave-ins. If you see here a few caves of rocks and such that have fallen down in various areas into this pit.
Okay, I get out of the Put and Go and I look to see if that's the way that Sandeep went.
All right, where would you like to stop your Put and Go?
More or less at the mouth of the sinkhole.
May I be counting since the last red flash?
Oh yes, good thinking. +1.
Time it. See if it's the same.
They seem to happen within about an hour.
An hour? Okay, there's no way I would time it then because I'd get so bored.
Okay.
Sorry. No.
Yeah, that's okay. You think about timing it and you're like, it's been at least an hour, and then you give up.
Yeah.
Okay, I get out, I check to see if I can see any clues around that he's gone any other directions. I roll 70 on detective. That is a critical success.
Okay. You look about. You do see some evidence. You don't see any UV. You don't see anything that says Sandeep was here. He didn't write on a rock. You do see some evidence of more than one indications of travel. One is footfalls that goes around the edge. You actually see 2 sets of footfalls removed by some time around the edge. And you do see some turnouts with a bike. You think the bike he did, if it's him on the bike, which you're assuming it is, has tried to go around this lower edge with it.
And did I see him come back?
No, you don't see anything coming back at the point you're at right now.
So he didn't go down, he went around.
It seems, or at least as far as your vision can take you. As I said, there's a few rockfall cave-ins all the way along there.
I send Batty to go look to see if he went through, or if he fell down in there, or maybe his dead body is somewhere around there. I have Batty do the periphery of the sinkhole.
Batty flies around and does not see anything. He looks around. He can't seem to find anything to really indicate what happened to him.
Oh, okay, and you said there was 2 other sets of footfalls.
As I said, there's some time between the 2. You can tell they weren't traveling together.
Pryo goes to Dennis. I guess we're going to have to go through.
This is my least favorite place.
Get your gun ready.
Mm-hmm. Hey, do you want to send your bat into the cave? I don't trust the statues, but that's not the point. Just to see if it really does come out the other end, because if it just goes down, then you need to go on foot anyway.
Pryo doesn't like that idea. He's already almost lost Batty a number of times already. But he goes, fine. Okay, he tells Batty to go through the cave, check it out.
Will it work once you get behind solid?
I command him to cloak first and then go through the top of the cave and use his sonar and kind of check it out.
He successfully cloaks. He starts flying towards the cave. He ducks under. And your goggles phase out.
Batty.
Okay. Do you see him come back out? The goggles come back out on.
So he can't go through.
What you seem to know is that your goggles and your bat are losing communication when he flies in.
Anything?
We lose comms when he goes through.
Dang. Okay. All right. Let's do it then. Do we go on foot first? Check it out, make sure it's safe, come back, get the speeder? Do we just push forward?
Can't waste the time.
Okay.
Okay, Pryo gets in, puts it into gear.
Okay.
Pilots it down into the sinkhole.
All right. You drop down. It's uneven and odd. It's clearly the Gaia road is not meant to fall into a sinkhole. However, as you drop in, you feel like the edges are more intended to be hewn, if that makes sense, rather than actually just crumbled as a random sinkhole. You can see some marks of things, tools of some sort that have worked on this. However, it's been a long time since this was set up.
I pilot through carefully and try to go as quickly as possible without crushing.
Okay, you drive through, you come down. As you're driving up, the land it seems to have a little more moisture. It's not quite as cracked. And you come up to this giant statue. It's at least 15 feet tall. As suddenly, the statue does seem to move as almost a ghost-like projection appears over it, and it takes a step down off of its pedestal. You see that's not right. All those guys.
Oh no!
Start to move.
Statue monster things.
Back up, back up, back up.
Pryo.
No. I hit the gas.
Pryo, roll detective.
73. I make it unless it's a big minus.
As adrenaline starts to fill your veins, and you start backing it up as Danus is back up.
I don't back up. I said no, and I gunned it, and I went forward.
Oh, well, Danus is still saying back up, and you start to go forward. You see above, somewhere up here, a lone being on a speeder bike take off.
Oh, that son of a bitch.
How far?
Yeah.
How far is the whole sinkhole?
No, the speeder bike as it starts to take off. Unless I don't see it, then I don't.
No, you didn't. I rolled for you. Sadly, your detective wasn't.
No, I get it.
Quite on par, Prios. You're working on it.
Above the cave. 2 o'clock.
You just see a peel of dust and smoke come up.
Going up and down, and there's no way you could get it. If you got in the scope, that'd be amazing.
Well, you didn't tell me what it was, so I just see 2 o'clock, and I'm like, there's dust. Like, in my mind, I'm thinking, okay.
Dust!
Yeah.
You are driving.
Straight through towards the cave.
Okay. Okay, as you drive straight through, you see this monster animated almost as if a ghost is inside the metal statue and wavers. It kind of wavers in and out of it, yet the statue itself moves, and it lifts up a large staff, and you see energy starting to illuminate the staff and the top of the head of this strange female hero of old.
Pretty good. Oh,
You may roll piloting.
With a 31, I make piloting with a minus 330.
All right. You see a giant energy bolt gather over the head of the great statue, the great hero of old, and it points towards you and it blasts. It makes a huge hole, not unlike these ones, as you pilot quite quickly around and head straight through. You see this one, the statue starts to animate. You see that ghostly thing ignite it as it lifts its bow and takes aim at your punt and go.
Is it too bouncy for Danus really to get a shot off at it?
Yes, it would be at quite a minus.
Okay, then I feel that defense is the better part of valor here, and with a 69 critical, I make a force field around us.
Okay, so would you like to make kind of like a bubble egg sort of around your putt
kind
and go?
of an egg around the whole putt and go as we're going.
It moves with us, right?
Yep.
Okay.
He just
man.
drive out.
Smash! No, it moves. It's centered on us. It's centered on the putt and go, so it moves with us.
All right. And what did you get for initiative to do this force field?
I got...
See, this sword-wielding statue that's quite a distance from you is moving, however it is covering distance quickly as it swings the animated metal sword over its head.
Crazy. We got some crazy Gaia statue heroes of old attacking us here. Okay, then I'll go full attack mode and I'll get 532.
Okay.
Or full attempt mode in this case. I'm not attacking. I'm focusing my mind to make a force field as quickly as possible.
Full defense performance mode.
I make it with a critical. How big is the putt and go?
The putt and go is 3 meters by 2.
Okay.
Just have a little trunk on the back.
This is going to cost me 30 MR per round. I'm doing both a physical and a mental force field. And so it'll block physical and mental damage. And it has 1,000 and 2,120 points.
All right, please keep track of that as a giant arrow, somewhat made of metal, somewhat made of energy, comes flying and hits your force field for 302 points.
Okie dokie.
You actually, Danus, you're in the putt and go. The giant metal arrow comes flying at you. You just go to move out of instinct, and it hits the force field Pryo's erected around. The force field flashes a crazy multiple rainbow color as it's hit with quite a buff. You actually feel the putt and go shake a bit as it's hit, and you see that giant being take aim again at you, and above you, the very top of the sinkhole, you see a projected image appear. A giant being with a bald head appears above you. It's about 400 meters high. It's enormous. You see it's blinking as if the projection isn't holding solid.
What in the hell is that supposed to be?
Hello and welcome. Okay, you're driving around as an arrow flies at you. You're in for a treat today, my fellow Gaiazins. Okay, it flickers. You see the head kind of goes sideways, and it goes, and begin the games! Another arrow comes flying at you. Another arrow hits the force field for 160.
Okay, I'm gunning it towards the cave.
Yep.
Will the putt and go fit in the cave?
It will not. It is a roughly human-sized cave hole.
And we didn't notice this ahead of time.
We didn't know. Oh, man.
Nobody asked me, so yeah, I guess
that's fair. That's fair.
Do I see any ramps or any more smoother parts I could possibly get the putt and go in?
Just up near this, the image of this large being in front of you has drawn your attention away from the cave, which is what you're focusing on quite a bit, and you see it's not quite a ramp, it's a landfall or a landslide of rocks that you think you might be able to push through.
There you go. Head for the landslide.
Okay, you start moving. This large sword-wielding being has followed you, and this one's a smaller bearded creature, has taken aim at you with its spear and is about to throw it.
Oh yeah, I'll dodge if I can.
Please roll piloting.
99, that's critical fail.
Oopsies.
Okay, but the force field's still there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, as long as Pryo is paying for it each round, it is still there.
He drives toward the spear.
Yeah. You are about to head up one way. You actually see a small being moving around in this cave. It drew your attention away for a second as the spear launches at you and hits the force field for 250 points of damage.
Whoa.
The putt and go shakes as the force field attenuates and flashes color.
I was like, hang on!
You start to make it up there. The running monster has not quite made it to you. You may roll piloting to try to make it up.
Hopefully. All right, I need to roll under 370. Hopefully I don't roll another critical fail.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, he guns it. Says, this'll work. This'll work. I've done this before. 4 critical, natural critical.
Okay, you look in the rearview mirror of the putt and go. You see a giant sword swinging at the back, and you start driving up. You made your piloting.
Mm-hmm.
The landslide, you start going up, you see rocks starting to shift as the footballs of this giant creature coming after you, behind you, start to shake it loose, and you still make it up. You launch yourself up, you're up in the air for a brief moment. You see the giant head of this bald, maybe sinister, bald man over you, his arms open wide almost as if to embrace the Put-and Go as it flies up to him, and you go straight through his hologram and land on the ground.
Pryo doesn't know why, but he does this. He's like, as he goes through the picture of the bald man.
Danus, Pryo has some odd muscle memories that happen every so often. All right.
Okay, with a 1.
Land nice.
I turn and I start beelining it towards wherever Jerkwad went there, where Sandeep went, the trail of dust.
Okay, you turn, and as you look out the window, Danus, because you're close to the edge here as you're going around, the statue stands silent. There seems like there was nothing ever there.
Huh. What?
All right, you're driving around the corner. You head in the direction you saw the speeder bike going.
If we're not under attack anymore, I drop the force field.
It seems like you're safe. Danus, you see Danus looking out the window. You peek over. You see that statues are just standing there. Batty also sees nothing in his vision above you. Batty flies up and soars over the land. You see a trail of dust quite a ways off. This bike moves much, much faster, of course, than the Put-and Go.
Acquire target. Batty, give me a thermal.
Batty soars over top. You see the being on the bike is hunkered over. They have a helmet. The helmet looks back up.
Cloak, Batty.
Driving. All right, you will lose him.
Okay, I say, bug him. Screech him.
Okay, Batty dives down. Never made to be a tactical fighting unit, this bat, however. Pryo pushes the limits. Okay, Batty soars down and comes at him and tries to claw at his visor. The head just moves slightly and ducks as the bike is quite a responsive high-end bike.
Okay, it's not going to work. I don't want Batty to keep trying and maybe get crashed or something.
It seems you have slowed him down a bit. However, there's also a high chance that you will lose your bat.
How far off is he from us?
He's at least a kilometer ahead now because you're losing your signal with Batty.
Okay.
Yes, he's outside the effective range of a sniper, if that's what you're about to ask me.
Yeah, I've got...
I can see Alec going,
Yeah, because I think the cool one is like 1,000 band.
Its range is a click, yeah, and that puts that we're just at the very end of the range.
Yeah,
all right. Probably not even worth the point. Okay, did Batty get a thermal print of this individual then?
Yeah.
With a growl, Pryo just grits his teeth and keeps driving, intent on catching up at some point. Also, Batty would have looked at him in UV. Was it Sandeep?
It sure was a yellow UV.
That son of a bleep. Okay, Pryo keeps driving and just lets Batty just ease off and just follow from a distance.
Okay. After some time, he pulls out of Batty's vision. Batty does, however, see a form laying off on the side of the road, the Gaia road.
Oh? Laying
face down like this, a bit of a ways off, into another one of which you assume must be one of these petrified grove areas. It's off to the left side of the road you're on.
Cold, warm, alive, dead?
Not doing too great, but still alive. Sandeep almost drove right over it and kept going.
Well, I guess we'll catch up to it eventually then.
You do. Within short order, you come upon this being. It's a small, quite lithe creature. It's face down, so you can't see much more about it.
Weapons?
None. You see it's got a bag with some pads Gaia pads in one side, some odd rolled up papers in the other.
Prio's not sure if he should slow down. I don't know what we could do for this person.
You're following the tracks of Sandeep?
I don't see this. I don't see this yet, so because I don't have.
Oh yeah, no, you're coming up on this creature now. You're driving.
What the hell?
Did they have a bike or another speeder?
Nope, doesn't look like it.
God damn it.
Pryo, there's something in the road. We've lost it. We've lost our target. Like, do you want to pull over real quick? We have no surprise.
Yeah, fine. Okay, Pryo slows down, stops.
Right. I'll hop out, kind of see, shake, feel vitals. What's going on?
Okay, you turn the being over. It's a small, about 4-foot creature. It's got shaggy, almost like fur for hair, brown. It's got, its eyes are closed, but they seem quite large. It's got tiny little pointed canines, fangs.
Sure.
And it's got dark, freckled skin all over. Almost so that if it balled up, it would look like maybe a fuzzy mushroom or something. There seems to be some life, and then the mouth is quite crusted from needing some liquid.
Figured. Pryo, do you have the little hydration pod pellet things?
Okay, Pryo walks over. I would like to give him a once over with my detective skill.
Okay.
How'd he die? How'd he get here? Who is he? Is he an enemy or not?
What?
Roll.
As
roll 15, which is a critical.
As he's looking around, I'll just say, Pryo, he's dying.
+1. The first thing you realize is it's androgynous. It's a they.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah, it's Pryo, because he was walking up and doing. There's, and they're not dead yet. They're breathing quite shallowly. It looks like exposure. You see some kind of burns on there. There's quite a bit of tearing and crusting around the eyes, and again around the mouth. Otherwise, they're very simply outfitted.
No weapons?
Nope, none to speak of. Just these bags.
Okay, I look through his bags.
Okay, their bags have.
Their bags, sorry.
No worries. 5 pads and 4 rolled parchments. You look through. The parchments have writing and some pictures drawn. You find one written with some very crude sketches of the statues you just saw in a big pit.
Okay. I dropped my bag, so if Danus wants to grab a water cube out of it, he can go ahead.
Let's start popping those babies in there, and then I'll see if there's life. If not, I'll get him to the shade inside the vehicle.
Okay, you stuff a little water crystal in the mouth, close the mouth, see those tiny little pointed teeth, and you wait a few seconds, you open the mouth, it seems to have dissolved, you put another one in. After 4, you start to see the being sort of start coughing, and their eyes flutter open.
Where'd they come from? They must have come from the direction we're going.
Roll PR.
Critical success?
As I said, there's a drawing, a very crude drawing of the place you just were.
Oh, so their footprints walk up to this and they fall over?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so they're going the same direction we were.
Seems to be, yeah.
Because their boot prints, one of the people we saw going around the edge of the sinkhole?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, Danus, the creature looks at you.
Nope, no moving. Does this hurt? And I try to lift.
Okay. The being winces a little bit, but it's like, seems to be okay.
Great. I'm just gonna carry them to the vehicle, set them on my seat in the shade, and pop another one in their mouth and say, "Don't move."
Okay. Okay, it sits there, its big eyes kind of look around. You see it put its hands, clearly looking for its stuff that Pryo's looting through. I don't know if you're doing it carefully or...
Carefully.
Okay, you're looking through.
Okay, Pryo grabs his stuff in one hand, grabs his bag in the other, starts walking up.
Yeah, okay, cool. Hey. How you feeling, buddy?
It points to its stuff that Pryo has. It looks a little nervous.
Yeah, you'll get that in a second. All right. Take your time. Then I'll turn to Pryo and say, all right, so should we just let him wake the heck up and we keep going and interrogate on the way rather than sit here and let him get further from us? Thanks, by the way, for stopping.
Pryo nods. He gives he puts the man stuff in the back seat with him. There is no back seat. It's a 2-seater, isn't it?
Yeah.
The 2-seater, yeah. This is a tiny being, however, as I said.
Yeah.
Okay.
Between 3 and 4 feet tall.
Pryo puts his bag, shield, and the androgyne's bag in the trunk.
Yeah, great. I'm going to lift him up and say, there's no room in the front, and I'll give him another water crystal and say, we're going to take you to where you're going. Bye. And I'm going to put him in the trunk and shut it.
Oh my goodness. He goes, shut the thing.
Then I'll open it and say, you're not dead.
Will this being fit with us in the front seat or no?
It will be squishy, but they are small. Yeah, both roll PR.
I don't want them on my lap.
I make it.
Or them.
More importantly, that Danus makes it right now.
All right. So I've got a 70.
Okay, you're about to close it. You're like, this is a great idea. I don't want it on my lap. And then you feel the heat.
Pryo's standing there.
Pryo's standing there. Pryo, you also realize you will finish cooking this androgynous being in the trunk, if that's
really.
You can sit on your lap. Okay, Pryo goes back to the driver's seat.
Okay, you get in. The being's quite in shock and passes out.
Great. I hop in. I position them in the most comfortable for me, most uncomfortable for them, most likely. Usually that's how it goes. They're passed out anyway. Who cares? And I'll say, fine, ready.
Okay, you squish the androgynous being inside you.
Okay, Pryo starts driving, and he goes and holds a little potion of blue liquid up to Danus.
Okay, what is this?
Put it in his mouth.
I look at him funny, but I trust him.
Okay.
So I start to push it into his mouth.
No, pour the liquid in his mouth.
Okay. All right.
No schools in a Theon?
All right, then I'll
Okay, you open it.
Yeah, I'll just look at him and say, now that's trust. Right?
And what is it, a potion you are pouring down?
Of healing.
Of healing. Perfect. Okay. You pour the potion slowly down the little creature's mouth. You see the cracking and the bruising that was all over it start to heal up. The fur on the head their head looks more lustrous. Okay, their eyes open up. Oh my. Okay, it looks at you. They look at you, Danus. They're like, oh.
Relax, we're not going to hurt you.
Okay.
I'm like halfway sitting out the bloody window just to like get comfortable.
You're slowly putting your knee against stomach pushing. Where are you going? Who are you?
My name's John. Bad shooter.
Oh, shooter, okay.
What are you doing in this land? It doesn't seem very hospitable. Some kind of cartographer, some kind of scientist?
Oh, okay. The being smiles, a little twinkle appears in their eyes. There's actually stars in their eyes. Oh, yes, I'm a chronicler. They puff up their chest, quite proud. My name is Anzo. Perhaps you've heard of me.
Pryo says, sorry, Anzo, I recently repotted and don't have any of my memories.
Okay, they turn to you, Danus, and look expectantly as if you're going to know who they are.
I'm not happy that we're sharing a seat, but I am.
I'd give you another +1 if I had one.
I know. We switched dispositions for a little bit here. You're becoming nicer, and I'm becoming angrier and more paranoid. Like this.
Perfect. My plan is working.
Okay, the being's chest deflates a little bit. I'm in the area. I chronicle. I'm writing down the histories of the outer territories before they're forgotten. I may have tripped some computers back there.
Back where?
In that... Well, where the Praetor's games were. You must have seen it if you come that way. With the big statues that maybe wanted to kill you, but it wasn't my fault, I didn't know.
What's a Praetor?
Oh, you just potted, right. Okay, the being looks at the very unimpressed Danus. Is he okay? Okay, the being looks at Danus. Oh boy.
That wasn't a serious question. I don't. It's a bald guy. Yeah, whatever. I don't care.
Oh, good. Okay.
What do you know about where this road goes?
I hand him the map, and I say, "All right."
Ooh.
No. Ooh. Explain. What are we going into? What is all
You
this?
see, a map is a drawing of a land. That's
I take it. I hit him on the head.
Well, first.
Okay, Pryo looks at that. It's like, what are you doing?
I look at Pryo and say, he's taken half our water. He's taken our healing potion. We're being so nice, and he's being such an encumbrance.
Okay, pipe down, there, master interrogator. Let me handle this one. Pryo rolls acting. With a 25, that's a critical.
Okay, Onzo looks at you.
He goes, oh, wait, did you say your name was Onzo? Onzo the Chronicler?
No.
Yes.
This is...
Yes.
I look at the
Oh, wait a minute. I have heard of you.
open mouth.
You did the chronicling, right?
Yes. Oh, good. You must be familiar with my early work. I chronicled the Merchant Corridor. The familiar one.
Yes, the
Now-
Merchant Corridor, or whatever you said. The Merchant Corridor, right.
Yeah. And now I'm doing, the one that few know about, and the fading lands, because of course they're going to be gone, and then they'll be, faded from people's memories.
Oh, yes. Very, very, very funny. Yes. Yes. So where does this road go that we're going?
Oh, we're going through the next land. Exnocket.
Exnocket.
I don't name them.
So what can you tell us about this area? Do you know about the priory at Belize?
That's where I came from.
Oh,
Now I'm going this way.
I see.
Thank you for picking me up. I got stuck in that computer room back there, and then I turned the Praetor games on. It was interesting, and I got to record some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And there's the pile of robots.
The pile of robots?
Mm-hmm. In the cave. You must have seen it when you went under to get out.
Yeah, we took another way through there. We're being shot at by statues.
Oh, oops. Yep.
No, that was no problem. Gunned it right by them. The old putt and go.
You have a fancy machine.
Oh, it's fancy, all right.
I can help you.
Oh, how's that?
Well, I chronicle, so I've already gathered many stories about where we are headed.
There we go.
So, what can you tell us about Exnocket?
Sadly, I don't know much about Exnocket, other than it's cold, which will be nice, because it's kind of too hot here.
Hot and cold, huh?
Hmm.
Yeah, that seems about right.
Don't know if it always was. I think it's because the lands are fading. Well, it's not working so great.
Huh. Well,
Been
we're...
to Oclaris, though, which must be where you're headed.
It is. What do you know about that?
It's quite the town. There's lots of... Well, it's dangerous. I lost a lot of things there once.
How'd you lose them?
They were stolen. I was mugged twice.
By whom?
Well, I don't know.
Is it a gang, or is it just street toughs?
Oh! I think probably both, knowing Oclaris.
I see. Do you know who runs the gang?
Mm-mm.
So,
But I know the ways around, particularly if you want to go in the more affordable areas of town.
what do they use for trade?
Oh, whatever you got.
We got some bullets.
Well, that'll get you lots.
Do you know where Kev is?
I
Okay.
around here anyways.
Ever heard of the Emerald Cabal?
Oh, yes, I read about them once. I read the histories of the Cabals.
Do they operate in the Claris?
Oh, I think they operate everywhere, the big Cabals, don't they? The Emerald Cabal, the Red Cabal. Oh, and then there's the Syndicate. Something in your mind, not quite the same shock you got from the mention of a Theon, but you similar, a slightly lighter tingle in the back of your brain. The hairs on the back of your neck go up a little.
What do you
I've heard about this new thing called the Rainbow Cabal, but I don't know what, they don't sound like they do crime.
What do you know about the Syndicate?
Not much. They're mostly in the, core areas. My specialty is the outer rims. Okay, he talks, not ad nauseum like annoying. He does have information. He tells you that it's it's the beginning of a merchant corridor. The way he talks, it's quite a rare thing out here. And he keeps saying it's not connected to that other merchant corridor.
If someone was missing their memories, where do you think they should go? What should they do to try and get them back?
Well, I would go back to my pod first. Make sure I pod it right. Then I guess...
There was no record of me using a pod.
Ooh, I see. Then, well, I'm not a hacker or even a tinkerer. But,
No, don't worry about it. I'll figure it out.
You might... Now, this is super top secret information I'm sharing with you. But you did save me and all. So... I know... Have you ever heard of Bartos?
Bartos, the metal hunter?
Yeah, well, he's not a metal... He's at the metal hunter. It's a place. So you do know. We're friends.
Yeah. What about
I can
Bartos?
take you to him. I know him. We're friends. I think your ears got hurt, too.
What's this metal hunter place? Is that a bar?
Conglomeration of places, to people, and just make sure you hold your stuff tight.
And what does Bartos do there?
He knows stuff. Finds stuff. Fixes stuff.
So he's an information dealer?
Yep.
And a tinkerer?
Yeah.
Do you think he could help me find my memories?
Sure, that's why I said it. I'll introduce you.
Well, we'd appreciate that. Anzo.
No problemo.
Yeah. Thanks, Anzo. You're not so bad after all.
Thanks. Thanks for not putting me in the trunk.
Ah, not a problem.
He kind of widens his butt out a bit.
Okay.
You keep driving for some time and you make it to the next door. You have to pull the speeder up.
I get out, I check it for traps.
I also get out because I'd like to stretch.
Okay, you get out and stretch.
Just so you're aware, maybe getting your memories pulled and having someone else know them is not the best idea.
Huh?
So the name that I've told you, there's a reason I'm hesitant to say it, and I don't even say it while we're talking about it. It's safe. It's not a place that we want other people to go to. Does that make any sense? So I would hate for you to remember lots of specific details. Well, for someone else to see specific details that you should remember and then not tell you. Does that make any sense? Great.
So.
I'm going to scratch my head and kind of curse under my breath, thinking that I have the worst job ever. Just be hesitant. And I don't know how he works, Anzo's friend. But if he starts prying into specifics,
If he starts prying at specifics, I'll put my kukri in his face. How about that?
Yeah, that's better. Cool. Hey, Anzo, you thirsty?